Hello, thanks for watching. Right, astrology and giving it to the angels today. I think going to use an angel card from Ask the Angel. This deck by Toni Carmine Salerno, working out of Blue Angel Galleries, Australia. Well worth Googling that, actually. There's some fantastic images there. Let's have a look at the actual astrology situation very quickly. I think most of us know what's going on generally. The moon is about 2.6% full now. She's just starting to grow, so it's a good time for putting plans into action, launching things that you've been thinking about launching. Could be anyway. We've got to think about other things. There's retrograde going on and all kinds of things. Day 3 of the moon cycle. Great time for getting busy, according to Hindu astrology, Vedic astrology. The European side of astrology says nothing really special. An inauspicious day. Lunar Mansion 2, trade, treasure. Trying to get a favour from authority, asking your boss for an increase, asking for a better job, a better position, something like that. A pretty good day for that. Not such a brilliant day for love, but you know, well, it's always a good day for love. I'm just saying it's not an absolutely brilliant one. The sun is sextile Saturn and the moon is in Aries at the moment, on her way through into Taurus. So we are actually in transition now and coming towards the time of greater understanding, just for a few days, mind, as the moon is in Taurus. A time for taking a complete rest or getting a lot done. It's also really good for getting things done. Okay, well, let's give it to the angels though, because we've got Mercury retrograde, and I'm keenly aware a lot of people have been having quite a bad time. Just the last 2 or 3 days I've really noticed it, and kind of something quite big happened to a friend of mine yesterday. It seems to be a time of things, big things happening. They're not always bad things, but they're usually pretty difficult to understand. That has everything to do with Mercury. The good news is there are a couple of positive sort of alignments of Mercury next week. And even though it's the middle of retrograde, there's some good news there. So, you know, keep looking up because that's where the answers are. And let's give that to the angels. And I'll have a bit of an old shuffle and we'll see what comes out. This seems very kind of unscientific, doesn't it? But believe me, the answers come much better this way. I'm sure they do. Okay, and the card we've got is this one. Samael, the Shadow Self. The closer it comes, the darker it gets, this card. Now, the Shadow Self, you know, it really is quite well illustrated here. We can see one side of this lady, the other side. She's kind of chosen to hide. She doesn't absolutely have to hide it, but she's chosen to hide it, and she just does not look a happy bunny, does she? And when we're almost under attack, we're not really under attack, but it feels like we're under attack when we have alignments like Mercury going retrograde. But we should remember Mercury is retrograde in Pisces, and there's a lot of healing there available for that reason. People are tending to be quite understanding of each other. There are arguments coming up to begin with, as people aren't willing to be understanding of each other. But the journey through this retrograde is all about working on that and bringing that out, because Mercury actually goes direct in retrograde. She went retrograde in Pisces. The pre-shadow began in Pisces and she goes direct in Pisces. So it's very much a Piscean journey with this Mercury retrograde. And that means there's more compassion about than we might expect to find normally. So what we've got to do is try and bring this shadow self out so that we can kind of see both sides of the face. And so the world can see kind of both sides of our face. It isn't about being two-faced, it's about being single-minded. That's what matters here. And you can see in this card, you know, she's got a very powerfully painted eye there. So her left eye is very kind of strongly open and aware. But it's all a question of balancing left and right, really is. Gosh, I thought of politics there for a minute, but we don't want to start on about politics. Goodness me, no. Politics are throwing up a lot of concerns, though, and a lot of worries about the way the planet is going, the way things are going. Do give that one to the angels rather than let it become a worry, because I was saying last night, this planet has never allowed us to kill it before, and there's no reason to think it's going to this time. So giving that to the angels and thinking about how to bring that shadow side out into reality. A good way to look at this, friends, I think anyway, is the idea of using a mirror now for divination and for working things, getting answers from the universe, from the cosmos, as it were. We can scry, and you can scry in just about anything. As an example, I've got my tablet here. It's turned off, and I can kind of scry in that. It probably doesn't show in the camera, but I could see my face in it. And you can scry into a thing like that, and often the answers will come, but in a very basic way, in a very simple way, something I'm going to say we all can do. We all do it every day, I'm sure. Looking in a mirror, even those of us who don't like to look in a mirror are going to walk past shops with silver windows and buildings that reflect, something like that. Somehow we keep seeing that reflection of ourselves. It never quite goes away. And of course, it's not a real thing, is it? Because if you look behind the mirror, there's nothing there. But when you look in the mirror, it is really you. So it is you in a sense. And whatever's behind the mirror that isn't really there is that part of you. And the only reason it isn't really there is because you haven't brought it out yet. And this is true of me as well, by the way. I'm just pontificating. I'm good like that. Okay. So it really can happen, yeah? It's difficult to say look in the mirror and believe that that reflection is a real thing when we actually know it isn't, and that's all part of the whole thing. But it really is an indication of the part of the soul that we all have that is hidden away. Psychologists, completely stone-cold scientific psychologists will tell you that we are all driven, we're all governed by images in the back of our minds, formed usually in childhood, images to which we have no access in our waking life, in our waking moments, in our conscious mind. Essentially, they will play into our dreams. They will be a part of our dreams for very physical reasons. And I see dreams as a very spiritual thing, but there are physical reasons why it would be that way. And so this is why it's good to listen to our dreams. It's not only hearing the angels and finding those answers from the angelic realms. It's not only about meditation. It is actually about the hard, cold realities of stone cold facts of life coming through to us. Things that maybe in the past we've thought were intractable, things we thought we couldn't change. Slowly, if we keep looking at things, we can change them. Transformation is a big word, and maybe transformation takes a lifetime, who knows. But that's the journey we're on. Some people call it the ascension, rightly so, because that's what it's all about. But we're all on this journey, and that's where we're at today. It feels like a kind of stuck energy sort of day almost. But the Sun sextiling Saturn is really positive, and we've got some crackers coming up next week. But I'll save those for next week, otherwise I'll have nothing to talk about then. Thanks very much for watching, friends. Excuse me. I managed to get on Facebook live last night, and I did mediumship for about half an hour before the camera started playing up. I think our links are getting mended, and my plan is to go live every day this weekend. I really can't promise that. I really don't know. I'm still aiming for 10:30 p.m. on Sunday night because that was such a wonderful session. But we are actually shifting, aren't we? Because daylight saving time comes in the States and Canada on the 10th. I believe everywhere in the States and Canada, apart from most of Arizona and Hawaii, are going to go on to daylight saving time on Sunday the 10th. So that might end up being different. But I'll work all the times out, and I'll make a post on here or something. I'll put it some kind of hint so you know when I might be coming on. If I don't make it, I'm sorry, but I will be making it again soon because the line's getting better. And the spiritual lines of communication keep on getting better as long as we keep on using them, friends. So keep looking up, keep giving it to the angels. Keep it real, keep it Twig, brother. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, do give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, please, if you haven't already. Leave me a comment and we'll share the journey because that really is what this is all about. Have a great day. Bye-bye.